Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. We do a lot of different beer stuffs here, technically, actually. We do mystery beers. We love the mystery beers. A lot of breweries send us beers. We do aged beers. We do a bunch of different kind of beers. We have homebrew too. That's kind of where this one is, sort of. Let me explain. So my boy Sean, who works at Buried Acorn Brewing, sent me this. This is actually his brewery beer from his homebrew setup. So he works at a brewery, but he also does stuff on the side. Name of his brewery is Awkward Handshake. As you can see on here, it's Corduroy Ninja. This is the name of this beer. 5%. It is a pastry beer. He sent me off this. So I'd love to know your thoughts. We're gonna review it. So it's a brewer who works at a brewery's homebrew. It's just kind of weird just to think about it that way. So we'll see where this sucker lands. I am, these pastry beers, man, if they're done right for me, I can dig on them. For me, not that they're my favorite style, but they're usually very, very tasty beverages if they're done right. And the big kind of like thumbs up, this is a winner, is if I want to drink the whole can. So yeah, super ghetto labeling, masking tape, one of these name tag things. I can get down with that. Beer wise, looks all the part of pastry. And it's got that rich kind of fruit juicy medley kind of hue to it. Slightly head. Words are hard. A fluffy, creamy white head with that slightly off kind of pink hue from the fruit portion of the show. We're done and done. They actually sent me the kind of bill of what's in this as far as the fruited part. I glossed over that. I've forgotten it. I like to go into these fresh without any whatevers. Pseudo mystery beers, kind of, sort of. So anyway, it looks the part of a pastry sour. Not pastry sour, I guess pastry sour, fruited sour. Anyway, this review is herky jerky. Let's get nose. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it really does come off as just like a sweetened, a lactose sweetened fruit punch. Actually, you know what it really does remind me of, and I say this in a positive way because I used to drink them and I used to really enjoy them. Now I just kind of just don't drink them anymore. V8 Splash. V8 Splash makes like these. It's like a fruit cocktail kind of medley thing, but it has this kind of creaminess to it. It's almost like a lactosey thing. And I've never really thought about it until now. A lot of these fruity, smoothie, sour things remind me of that. I just didn't realize it until the second. So that's why it comes off to me. How it comes off to me is that very much kind of like that V8 splashy fruit medley, big berries, tropical fruits. Those are the big combinations here with that soft sweetness that in that V8 Splash I assume is just some kind of sweetener. But in here it's probably that lactose in play. It doesn't come off super milky or milkshaky or marshmallowy or anything like that. There really is that sweetened lactose with that big berry component. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. Okay. That's not bad. There's something aggressive to it. It's outside of the scope of what I typically get in these kind of beers. I don't necessarily hate it. It's acting as a counterbalance to the sweet on sweet on sweet you typically get from these beers, but I don't necessarily know if I love it. So the first things first, the mouthfeel's nice. It's not super creamy, super sultry. I kind of want that when it comes to these beers. So it's nice, but it's lacking that super soft silkiness I really look forward to. The fruit portion of the show here is really, really cool. That comes off uber organic. It comes off way less V8 Splash and very much kind of Jamba Juicy, kind of freshly blended kind of fruitiness. The sweetness level on this is very nice. For what these beers are, I've had ones that are way more sweet than this. While it is sweet, it's kind of how these beers roll. It's not overly sweet, but it is that little sharpness. I'm going to call it a very aggressive carbonic acid thing because that's where I think it's coming from. And it rides through the whole beer and it very much kind of bumps the beer off its tracks a little bit for me. I don't know if it's a combination of hops. I don't think so. I just think it's an aggressive carbonation thing. I'm positive that's what it is. And I'm super in tune with carbonic acid right now. Like I have this kind of that portable keg thing that I reviewed a while ago. Not you keg, trail keg. Like I don't have running water out here, but rinse glasses and stuff like that. So I brought that out here. I had to have like running water until I get some kind of better setup. And it's forced carbs, whatever you have in there. If you just let it sit for a while, so you can actually force carbonate. You can use it as a homebrew setup and kind of help force carbonate, liquid. And I wasn't drinking it, but I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, I want a glass of water. I'll just drink it out of there. And I've been drinking, actually. It's right in here right now. And if I drink this, it doesn't look all that bubbly, but there's a decent amount of carbonic acid in that water from that forced carbonation from that keg. And I'm getting that in here. I'm getting the exact same thing. So I'm super in tune with it. And that's kind of where this one really kind of misses the mark for me from something being like super awesome. The fruit portion of the show is very cool. More than very cool. The sweetness level is on point. The mouthfeel, while not thin, could be a little bit better. It really is that aggressive kind of carbonic acid thing that acts almost like you're drinking static. Static on TV. It's kind of like that thing. It's not that aggressive. It's not going to ruin the beer. As you can see, I'm almost done with this, and this is half the can, so it's definitely a tasty beverage. I just think that needs to go away. I don't like that contrast. Maybe if it was a hoppy bittering, I could find a cool kind of interplay in it. But when it is that just kind of acid that you get, that seltzerly acid, and something like this, it just doesn't really work for me now. Some people don't even really mind carbonic acid at all, don't really get it, but I am sensitive to it in this sense, in the way this beer is made and what it's trying to be. It just kind of knocks it off its axis a little bit for me. But tasty. Am I going to drink the whole can? I don't know. We'll see how the night goes, but I'm not saying no. But that's a tall order for a lot of these beers, but it's tasty. The fruit portion of the show here is exactly what I want when it comes to these kind of beers, so let's leave it at that and say, there you go. Not Rushmore status, no. But it's definitely, especially from a homebrew stance, even though Sean works at a brewery, very tasty stuff. It's just, as a homebrew beer, walking it back to when people send me homebrew, what they're looking for is not necessarily whether I like it or not. It's why I don't like it or not, and that's the big thing here. It's the mouthfeel. You can bump that up. That would be great. But as it is now, it's not criminal or anything like that. I just want a little bit of softness. Now, that might come with that reduction in carbonic acid. That's really what strikes it for me, and that tends to ruin the mouthfeel a bit too. So reducing that might lift it up in the other direction on the other end of things too. So there you go. So homebrew review in the books, I guess. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much, Sean, for sending this off. Like I said, if you ever want to check out him and the beers that he makes, you can always go Buried Acorn. Who knows? Maybe he'll have a little bit of homebrew on the side. He can give you a little, slide a little over on you that way. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you enjoyed a little homebrew. You're more than welcome to send me some. Hope we'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all.